Text, Voting, and Disability Series, Voting by Mail or at an Election Center. Disability Law Center, Utah County Elections Division. Woman with stack of mail. She marks a ballot with a pen.
The majority of Utah elections are conducted by mail. That means that most registered voters will be mailed a ballot about 3 weeks before each election. By mail voting is a convenient way for many citizens to vote when and where they want.
Vote here sign on sidewalk. Rounded blue mailbox, metal drop box, blue fabric note in vote center.
There are 3 ways to return your ballot. You can send it in the mail, drop it in a ballot drop box, or take it to a vote center.
Female voter gives ID to female poll worker at desk who enters information onto a black touchscreen, then returns ID and gives voter a yellow stylus. Poll worker turns screen to face voter, who writes on the screen. Poll worker gives voter a paper ballot.
Vote centers are open on election day and during an early voting period. You can get help at an election center if you need to register to vote, you prefer to vote in person, you didn't receive a ballot in the mail, the ballot you received got damaged, or if you would like to use an accessible voting machine.
Woman in wheelchair steers down sidewalk, up ramp with blue sign, and through glass doors.
When you arrive at the election center, you should find signs from the parking area along an accessible pathway to the voting area.
Mindy arrives at voting area and speaks to poll worker seated at desk. Mindy gives ID to poll worker who enters information on touch screen with yellow stylus.
Once inside, you will first visit the check-in table.
Will you please state your name?
Mindy McMile.
May I see your ID?
The poll worker will ask you for your ID and ask you to state your name and address. At this time, let the poll worker know how they can help you and if you would like to use a voting machine.
Can I use one of the voting machines?
Yes, you may. Let me have you sign first.
The poll worker will find your voter registration and give you a paper ballot or take you to the voting machine. If they cannot find your voter registration, you can still vote by filling out a form that will act as a voter registration form.
Man using power wheelchair, accompanied by poll worker, steers to a white touchscreen machine surrounded by blue cardboard privacy screens. She sets down sheets of paper and moves screen closer to edge of table.
You have the right to vote privately and independently. For some people, voting machines are the best way to do that. They are useful for voters who have a difficult time reading or marking a paper ballot. If you choose to mark your paper ballot this way, the poll worker will help you get started, then leave you alone to vote privately. You can choose options such as larger font or change the contrast of the screen display. To mark your voting choices, just touch the box on the screen. If you change your mind, you can touch the box again and the item will be unselected.
Text.
The voting machines have the following features: large font, contrast, audio, a pad to help you make selections, plugins for sip and puff devices, rocker paddles, or other attachments. If reading is difficult for you, there is an audio function. You can listen to the ballot options and make your selection with a keypad. Plug the earphones into the machine, then a recorded message will explain how to use the keypad to vote.
A voter and a poll worker stand at a voting machine. A ballot is inserted into a slot on the machine's lower right. The poll worker walks away as voter sets headphones on head, then uses gray keypad to control machine.
You may even attach your own device to the voting machine for ease of use.
Voter in red accompanied by man in gray enter through door and approach poll workers seated at desks with black touchscreens.
Want help filling out your ballot? You can bring anyone you like with you.
Text.
You just can't get help from your boss, your trade union representative, or a candidate.
2 poll workers stand behind Mindy, who taps on white touchscreen.
You can also get help from a poll worker.
Hand shown inserting ballot into machine slot.
When you are finished voting, follow the poll worker's instructions about where to leave your ballot. We hope that this information about voting in Utah and the accommodations available at vote centers is helpful.
Text.
For more information about voter registration, voter ID, voting rights, or voting options, call your county clerk's office or visit vote.utah.gov. The Disability Law Center can also answer your questions or address concerns you have about voting rights. For more information, call 800-662-9080.
Text. Thanks to our sponsors, Disability Law Center, Utah County Elections, Utah State Elections Office, Weber County Elections. Text. Special thanks to Susan Brown, Eliza Stouffer, Mindy McGuire, Vard McGuire, Sherry Tolman, Kristen Swenson, Andrew Riggle, Tina Reisner, Mitchell Moyers. A big thanks to Nicole Stevens, Sarah Runyon, Nate Krippus, Sherry Newton, Kendall Runyon.